Okay, remember they're changing my voice. Also check out Isaiah 30:30. So where was I? We're really getting to this stuff. And I probably should stop making videos. I've been fumed for quite some time. And I don't want to sound annoying. I don't want to sound however the fuck they're going to make me sound, like some pompous rich brat or some thug, okay, with no higher cause. Or some kind of just guy complaining. I want you to get through your fucking head that I'm right. And they're wrong. In fact, you're all wrong. You're all wrong to cheat me out of my right to lead. And just because after they feel me, I start sounding fucking, I start like, it's like I'm being drugged and I'm flashing back to when I used to be younger and I used to talk more like this. You know what I'm saying? And that's sad. That's sad that they use these low down tricks. I'm not going to listen to him now because he sounds like a common street hoodlum. It's a bitch ass fucking shit. And we start thinking about some square ass, and I don't mean square is not holy. If you think square is holy, you can go fuck yourselves, okay? Square is some punk ass, descendant of a wig wearing bitch, not because of race, mind you, okay? Per se, some minorities wear wigs, okay? It's some worm ass, we'll say somebody in a social club with an apron or a crest or something, okay? It is some junior woodchuck, bitch ass fucking shit. Some kiss the neo-colonial ass, okay, type of sissy, pansy, namby-pamby, punk, wuss, puss, bitch-made fucking shit, okay? And the Lord is a warrior, not some fucking butler type of bitch. And if you don't know that, if you think someone with a butler's outfit and a thong took on Goliath, or somebody with an apron and a trowel said, "Here I come, Goliath," on a midsummer night, okay, then you've lost your fucking mind. If you think it's Flanders versus Goliath instead of David versus Goliath, you must have been sniffing some good fucking stuff. Okay. All right. So, as we look at this situation, let's say I pop my car. I'm going to go ahead and put it like a thug lightweight to help you visualize it. Especially when this is tailored toward the San Jose community. They understand me more talking like that than me being very serious and holy and warrior-like. Say I pop my collar on the average groupie ass bitch. They say, "Hey, what's up? How you doing?" Okay, not even like this. Okay, say, "Hey, how you doing?" "All right, I just, couldn't help but notice that you're beautiful and you look like, you're having a pretty good time." And I said, "Hey, let me try my luck." Or whatever, right? Whatever. Saying something 1,000 times more smooth than that. Okay. And I say, okay, my name is Chukwuemeka. I'm from Morgan Hill, but I live in the hills, right? Immediately, right? They're not, this is pushing them away. Some groupie ass bitch in the hills? Like, what's your name again? And then he told me that he's from the hills. You know what I'm saying? Tell me that you would be like, "Man, fuck this. I got to come up with something better. In fact, I got to be cool." So, when I was 19 or something, I moved to South San Jose, southern San Jose, by Oak Ridge, the Oak Ridge Mall area. Okay, Ohlone Chinoweth of Pearl. Okay, I had something better at that point, but I was actually with a female, and she's from Ethiopia. Her mom had moved out, left at the apartment, low-income apartment, what have you. She was from frickin' Ethiopia. She was like the first female you're going to live with in San Jose, with a less than 0.5%, less than 0.2%, less than 0.1% African from Africa population is an Ethiopian person, even though you're part white. It's the first person you live with. In fact, let's see here. That's the only person I live with, only female I live with my whole life. And I was, for any distinguished part of time, there was one other person who was black as well, who was actually mulatto. She's black and Hispanic, and she lived in Santa Cruz. Shout out to her and her family, and so on and so forth. So she was from Africa. She wasn't a white girl from an incorporated Morgan Hill who moved out with me and said, "Hey, let's get an apartment together." She wasn't from Morgan Hill or San Jose, wasn't from Saratoga, wasn't from Gilroy, Gilas. She was from fucking Ethiopia, okay? And she listened to Bob fucking Marley kind of thing. You don't think maybe, just maybe, I'm being treated unfairly here? Okay? Does it have to be from Nigeria, my father's village or something for it to be fucking blatantly obvious? But when she was younger, she was bad, right? She was a little waitress thing going on. Boom. Okay? Motherfuckers must have set me up there. That's another story for another day. One thing they do, and I want to warn you all, is they get someone pregnant and then they try to make it seem like it's yours. Okay, believe it or not, that's one of the tactics. They think that shit hella smooth. They think that shit's the fucking truth. They think that they get elevated to the high heavens for doing it. They think that they're the manliest person ever. They think that underhanded, disgusting form of sexual immorality and blasphemy and sabotaging God's plan is something they high five. We played everybody. Look, we used our deep state connection. It's like this guy from The Princess Bride, right? Whoever that guy is, the guy from Spaceballs or wherever that guy is. I switched the cup when you weren't looking. Right? You're some dumb motherfucker. It's because we're smart. It's because we're smart. And it's fucking retarded. Anyway, you can imagine it's fucking annoying. Because to some degree, I don't know if it happened or not, but I know that they've been saying that it did to some degree. And they're the types of scoundrels that do that. Make a long story short, I take her to get an abortion. And I would do it again because this world is fucking evil. I told myself at the time, I said, look, okay, this world is, this is before I know I'm Christ, this is before I start making videos, this is where I'm just talking about God, I'm just talking about Nigerian Civil War, I'm just trying to get people to do the right thing and so on and so forth. And, I'm best described at that point as a thug with the highest cause, knowing that the entire society isn't going to go there with me, right? They're not going to do what's right with me. They're going to insist that I do it the white man's way, the church way, the Jewish way, the LGBT way, the Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, any way you can imagine, fraternity. But they're not going to do it God's way because they're on that square stupidity and that evil stupidity, that corruption, that greed, that control freak, that sexual sodom, that false pride. So I take her to San Francisco after Planned Parenthood said, hey, we can get it done for free. I take her there and she gets the abortion. And boy, did I feel small, even though I did the right thing. It takes a lot of thinking, at least from that point on, because it was a different world 21 years ago when I took her to San Francisco. It was a whole different world, okay? People back then, it was a cruel world. I looked at it back then. I said, look, the way things work, these bitch-ass motherfuckers who shunned me my whole life, okay, if they do it to my kid, to my son, I'm going to rock right up to whoever the fuck, and I'm going to blow their fucking blankety blank. Don't want them to take me out of context. You know what I'm saying? And if, and then when the cops come who historically don't like black people, okay, you can imagine, right? I had dark thoughts. I said, no, this is not going to happen. They're not going to suffer. It's not going to go there. I'm going to prevent my son from being born and damn you all to hell, so to speak, for it coming to that. And it probably wasn't my child. When I look back at it, she started getting big real fast. Okay, she started getting big real fast. And what the hell, right? When do they start getting pregnant? So when I look at the timeline, it strongly suggests that somebody maybe a month or two before me was the one who impregnated her. And she kept things from me, right? She was very honest in many ways, but in certain issues she kept things from me, and she did things a certain way that strongly suggested that was the case. Okay, so I had to hold that kind of misery with me all throughout my 20s and so on and so forth. And after her, I would eventually get engaged to a female who lives in Greece, part Italian, part Greek, and I'd be with her like 4 years. So I lost many of my best years of my life waiting on somebody who was cheating on me, and so on and so forth. And then just when we look at what happened, okay, my whole life, my first girlfriend that I really lost my virginity to, I'm gonna go ahead and take it there. Okay, I was 19 years old, and she's in Santa Cruz. She's a black female, the only black female that plays football on the football team, a little thick. Okay, so I had somewhat settled, but I was so like, man, I'm getting laid and because my very first girlfriend, my very first girlfriend was an Indian female who eventually would work for the news, right? But we hardly got it on, right? We didn't really get very far. And I don't kiss and tell and so on and so forth, but this is part of the story, right? Because you need to understand the romantic injustice, so I'm going to take it there, We didn't really have full-blown sex, but we messed around a bit and enough to where you could consider that I lost my virginity to her. But when I really clearly did, there was that football team chick, okay? Because there's oppressors in society that raise their daughters to shun me and have a stupid fucking scale. If you look around and say, I'm going to date the American Pie guy, or I'm going to take a member of the Kiss band, or I'm going to date some arrogant Prince Humperdinck piece of work, okay? If you look at this situation, you're going to date a thug with no higher cause, or you're going to date, just a goth, an emo, a rocker, go through the list, right? A jock, and you shun Jesus? It's not because he doesn't have game, it's because you're a dumb fucking bitch.